So as mentioned in an earlier video, this would be a pretty complicated paint job as it would have multiple colors and need multiple applications of masking tape. So first of all, I obviously painted the body blue, then added the white stripes, and then painted the A-pillars in a gloss black after I clear coated the entire thing. Now I did that all and it was pretty easy, went by without any problems whatsoever. After that, I let the body sit and dry for about 3 days to let the clear cure for a while, and then moved on to doing another step, and that is adding the flat black edges around the wheel wells. So I cut my own fine line masking tape and started masking it off. Now that it's in the proper place that I want it to be, I just go over it with my finger and go over the edge with my fingernails to press it properly into place and make sure that it stays down while painting. So with that first one done, 3 more to go. It's pretty much the same procedure, but then just on another corner of the car. So now that the fine line tape has been applied around the edge, I can move on to applying bigger pieces of masking tape to mask off the big pieces of the body that do not need to be painted flat black. I just take out various smaller, wider pieces of masking tape and apply them gently around the edges that I applied with the fine line tape to mask off the rest of the body. Now the body is of course already clear coated, and what that means is that paint is really super smooth and also very slippery for anything else to stick to. So in order to make that flat black stick a bit better, I just scuff it up with some 2000 grit. Now this is not really a super fine or a super rough grit, but it's just good enough to not leave any scratches when painting it flat black, but it is good enough for the flat black to get a good bite onto the clear coat. After doing the one side, I of course did the same to the other side and then could move on to applying the flat black, being very careful to not pull the trigger all the way, just a tiny bit so that a tiny spray of paint comes out and I don't mist all over the rest of the body that is not properly masked and just affect the areas that I want to be painted flat black. So as mentioned, I was very careful using super tiny trigger pulls to not go all the way and splash paint all over the entire thing, and just focus on that small area. Now after that was all said and done, all 4 corners are coated in the flat black and have the desired finish. Zero paints dry really quickly, which is really easy and handy to have in mind, as I can straight away just pull off the masking tape and not worry too much about leaving fingerprints in flat black areas, as they are pretty much already touch dry straight after I applied the paint. With the body now unmasked, it's pretty much ready to move on to the next stage. But before I could move on with the body, I of course also needed to do the front and rear bumper. These got masked off in a similar fashion to the body, and then I just applied the flat black to the edges as well.